Hey, I'm Gabby, also known as Señorita Gavita. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video will be a sketchbook tour through my Peachtober sketchbook, so let's start. So here's the sketchbook for my Peachtober challenge, and I picked one, a very small one from Royal Talents Art Creation. I have already published a video where I took you with me through my Peachtober journey. I show you there how I did my preparation for it, like brainstorming, collecting some reference or inspiration pictures, deciding what kind of art supplies I want to use, and also if I want to stick to a color scheme. So I will share there some tips if you want to try out next year this challenge or another challenge. You can check it in the description down below, or I will add here on the right side a link to it. But let's start with this sketchbook tour. In the front page I added a Peachtober prompt list, so I can look to it, and I think it's very cute to have it in the front page. And the first day is Daisy. So for the first illustration I decided to use alcohol markers, colored pencils, and a little bit of white acrylic markers for the highlights. I collected beforehand, before the challenge started, a lot of Daisy pictures on Pinterest, so I had a little bit of reference. And I really love to use my little fairy guinea pigs in my illustration, and I think this was actually the main idea, not something very exciting. And of course I wanted to use some pastel and neon colors here, very light, and I really like it. It is very cute. It was very quickly done because I had the sketch already, so the coloration was very smoothly. I didn't have any problems at all, and this was the first illustration for Peachtober. And throughout the challenge I stick to my guinea pigs and some prompts, and to the nature, floral and plants themes. So this was my base for the whole Peachtober challenge. So the other day, the second day, was sparkle, and I sticked, as I say, to the floral theme and to the fairy guinea pig. And I added a lot of sparkles here and there. My idea was that you was going through a flower meadow and you see hiding between some flowers a sparkling fairy guinea pig, and yes, this was the idea. Very cute, very magical. It was also very easy to draw, only adding a few colors and deepen it up a little bit, and adding colored pencils and my white highlighter for all the sparkles. The third day was paw, and I wanted to draw a cute cat because guinea pigs don't have the typical paw look like cats or a dog, so I needed to draw a cat, and I love to draw cats. Because on the other side, on the sparkle day, I used alcohol markers. They bleed through the paper, so I use for this illustration acrylic markers so I can cover up the bleed through, and this works perfectly fine in the sketchbook. So each time I was drawing on one side with alcohol markers, the other side will be with acrylic markers, so I can cover it up. I took some inspiration pictures from Pinterest for this illustration because I'm not very confident to draw cats out of my mind. So you can find it in my Pinterest folder in the description down below as well if you are curious. And then I stick to the pastel theme, added some stars as well and some sparkle, and yes, this is paw for Peachtober. So to stick to the pastel scheme from the cat, I decided to also for the next prompt to draw a pastel sky. I remember that at the time I was drawing it, I wasn't that satisfied with the outcome because it was very late at the day when I was drawing it. It was very dark already in my rooms, so I wasn't that happy with my content for Instagram. But I had luck because I think this type of motif like pastel core or sky core aesthetic is very popular on social media, so I got very good feedback, and yes, it was a very huge motivation for me to keep going and not to overthink each time when I wasn't that satisfied with the illustration. So this was a good reminder after a few days to keep going, and yes, this was sky. So I think it was the 5th day. It was the first time that I was drawing this type of animal, so I wasn't that confident. And as you noticed, I have here like a border. I tape it with washi tape, but I don't know, I forgot to tape this side, so it bleed through the sky page, but it's not a problem at all. And this time I was combining acrylic markers and alcohol markers together. You can see the acrylic markers like here where I dot some colors here and there like to mimic some flowers, and also here the blue shapes and also some green in the grass. So I added the acrylic marker on top of the alcohol markers to make some more defined color shapes. Because I had the idea for this prompt to make all the flowers and the background very blurry, so the main focus of this illustration will be on the baby deer. So the deer is very defined with more sharp lines and with a higher contrast in the colors and the values. The next day was sketch, and I remember that I left this page a few days blank because I didn't have the idea what I can do, but in the end I decided to only sketch a flower field, flower meadow, and I quickly used for it acrylic markers and drew some lines, added a few colors, and make a very blurry sky with clouds. And of course I stick to my pastel color scheme like in the pages before, and it was very quickly done, and I was very happy in the end to make a very loose sketch, and I really like it, I really love it, and I will definitely do this for my shop update as a print. So you will get, I think, mostly all of the Peachtober illustration as an art print, as a fine art print. I'm still editing them, but it will come soon, I think in the end of November. If you already love what you see here, the Peachtober illustration, you can find down below in the description my Etsy shop as well, and you can click on it and favorize my shop if you like. So we're coming here to a sketchbook spread, which is one of my favorite ones because I stick to my nature and fairy guinea pig theme for my illustration. Was this prompt very easy for me to draw, so I decided to use to take here some roses in different blooming states. Here very the tiny bud and the already open roses. And I had the idea because the fairy pigs are, I think, like from last year in my repertoire for my illustration for my characters, and I didn't show you that much this year. I added them here and there, but without any information and background story, so I started to include them more and write under my Instagram post some fun facts as well. So here I was talking about that they really love to eat the very tiny rosebuds. Yes, this was the idea, the story behind the illustration. And then so the next one is river. And I usually don't draw that many landscape in the past years. I usually tend to draw my characters or cats and a little bit of flowers or nature in general, but they are mostly like close-up illustration, and I don't know why I didn't draw landscapes in the past, because after Peachtober I really love to draw them with acrylic markers to make like very rough and quickly illustration with the markers, and then to add later some colored pencil, like here some lines and shapes and texture to make it more unique and add some more interesting points to the drawing. And then here in the water I added also some neon orange, yellow and pink to it, and I really like this effect. I also added here on the clouds the same colors. I can't wait to print this illustration as an art print and hang it on my wall. I really love it. This is one of my favorite illustrations for Peachtober in general. So this both illustrations are my top tier. And this sketchbook spread is a love-hate relationship. I really love Apricot, but I hate Pixel. I had so many troubles to find an inspiration for Pixel because I do all in traditional, and I also wanted that the motif of this page will go together with the left side. So I don't know if you have noticed, I always try to make a sketchbook spread where the motifs are combined in a way. Like here you have the nature, and or like with the pastel cat you have the pastel sky. So it was very difficult for me to find a right idea for Pixel. But then after I had drawn Apricot with alcohol markers, I added the apricots and also my fairy guinea pigs with some very rosy cheeks as well. I decided to make also apricots or peaches in a pixel style, so I added with the colored pencil a grid, and then I filled up the squares with the acrylic markers. So it was okay. It's not my favorite. It did the work, but yes, I actually wanted to skip the day, but I did it in the end. So we have here wheel and earth. And wheel, the idea started actually to draw a Ferris wheel, but I don't know, I couldn't draw it that well and I wasn't satisfied with the theme, and because I was drawing the days before all with a lot of plants and flowers and so on, I didn't feel it that much to draw a Ferris wheel, so I changed my idea and draw like a serene garden, I would say, where you see here a very old wheel which was used here like a decor for the garden, and here on the brick on the wall you see a tiny fairy guinea pig. And the story goes on to Earth, where you can see another type of fairy guinea pigs, like maybe they are here hiding in the grass and planting some seeds, and this was the idea with Earth. So they are also a little bit dirty, they have here and there some soil on the face, and they're adding new seeds in the earth, and yes, they are like little gardeners and working for Mother Earth. This was the cape, and this is a little bit different from the sides, so the pages before, but I stick to my guinea pig and I call this page Joy of Magic. So this was the idea to make a very large and huge flowing cape, and then yeah, I added some stars and sparkle, and there's nothing more to say about this page. And I really love that I use both pages for the illustration, so I have another illustration going over 2 pages, and I think this is very nice way to create a very interesting sketchbook. Like here I have on both days the same prompt Burrow. You can see on the left side the tiny hamster, his tunnels where he's living. Here he has his storage of food, and here's his bedroom, and on the right side you see this motif like a close-up. The next pages are on the left, lamp and owl, and I was also here including my fairy guinea pigs, but they are a different kind. They are more like fireflies. and I thought it would be a very cute idea to add them like the light source of the lamp here in the inside of the lamp. So don't worry, they have a lot of treats inside and they are all fine. And then to stick to the lamp side, I drew the all also surrounded with this light sources like this glowing dots, and it was also the first time drawing a owl, so I used for it also some reference pictures. And I really love to make like a set with my illustrations. So we have here slow and fast. I had already the idea when I saw the prompt to draw a snail and on top a guinea pig, fairy guinea pig, because they are like the big guinea pigs, very lazy, and they love to take their time in each task they have to do. So I had the idea that the fairy guinea pig is using the snail like a very slow taxi to go to the destination they needed to be. And then on the right side I was thinking, how can I do opposite of this illustration? So I was thinking, what kind of insect is very fast? And then I came to the dragonfly, and yes, I used the same idea, like a dragonfly is the transportation for the fairy guinea pig. And I realized here that I forgot to add the details of the fairy guinea pig. So let's add them. And this was the pen that I was using for the highlights all the time. And this was also one thing during the Peachtober challenge, that sometimes I was rushing through the days to the prompts, and then sometimes I missed some details, and I realized it after I was finished that I missed some outlines, or like here the details of the fairy guinea pig. So this was a very downside of the challenge, because I hadn't that much time each day to complete the illustrations, but it happens. And this one is also one of my favorite ones, a crocodile day. And it was also the first time drawing a crocodile. So it's a little bit Disney inspired, I would say, because I wanted to make it very cute. And I call this page Let's Be Friends, because the fairy guinea pigs are like capybaras. They're befriended with different kinds of animals, and also a crocodile is included in the friend group of them. And I use for it acrylic markers, and I really love it. I really love the water that I have created here with the markers, and also the very quick background with some textures that I made with colored pencil as well. We have here rest and greenhouse. I was looking here for my reference pictures through bonsai trees, and I found a little cute one with a stone, and then I added on top a sleeping fairy guinea pig and the clouds in the background with a little bit of a pink shade as well, and adding some details with acrylic markers. So here I was also combining alcohol markers and acrylic markers together, and it's a very calm scene. And then I moved on to the greenhouse. I simply drew a greenhouse and added some plants around it, and played also here with the opaqueness of the acrylic markers. So I use here for the glass part only a very thin layer of acrylic markers, so you can see a little bit through it and see that there in the inside are also some plants as well. So we are now to day 22 and 23, village and party. So I was thinking, because I have different kind of fairy guinea pigs, that some of them are living like in tree houses, or maybe inside of flowers, or in grass also on, and sometimes they have like here like hamsters, like Burrow where they live. So I was also inspired by Hobbit, because I think at the time I was watching the new series on Amazon. So they're like tiny hobbit fairy guinea pigs living here and surrounded by flowers. And then when you go inside, you will see them having a very cute party, eating delicious food that they have collected, and they decorated the inside of their homes with some flowers as well. And yes, this was the idea for both pages. So we have here Radish and Stone, and like real guinea pigs. Fairy pigs love to eat very delicious food, so I was thinking to draw the guinea pigs that are pulling some radish out of the soil because they are ripe and ready to eat, and because they are very tiny, it's a very hard work to harvest some radish. So then on the next page here on Stone, after eating and after the hard work, they are relaxing here on very warm stones because it is summer here in this page. They are near the beach or a river and they are relaxing. So we have here backpack and grass, and some of the fairy guinea pigs, they are very cheeky, and as I said before, they love to eat very yummy food, especially also some sweets like here apples or berries and so on. And I found a backpack full of apples, and they are very cheeky, and they are taking the backpack with them, but one of the apple falls out of the backpack and landed here in the grass, and another guinea pig has found this perfect big apple for himself. So it was the best day of this fairy guinea pig. I drew a pony, as you can see, for the prompt, and I'm very happy with this because it was also the first time drawing a pony. And I was thinking the idea for it, that, as I said, fairy guinea pigs are very friendly and they have a lot of friends from different kinds of animals. And also the pony here is one of the best friends of them, and they are grooming the pony and making the pony very pretty, and adding also here some ribbons and so on. And on the next page and here on the next side you have here the guinea pigs taking a break from the hard work, styling the pony all day and adding the ribbon in the mane of the pony. And as you can see that the pony is also very satisfied and happy with the result, and it feels very bonita. We're coming soon to an end. We are here in Pearl, and the theme is going also to 2 pages. Here you can see my mare pig. It's a combination from the Little Mermaid and my guinea pigs. And you can see here the treasure of the mare pig. And then when it opens, you can see the pearl. So this was the story behind it. Very easy, and I love the colors and also how I managed to color up the pearl. So we are now in a final day. We have here spider on both sides. I drew a guinea pig in a spider costume, or maybe here's a spider pig, I don't know, but they're having a Halloween party. You can see here on the right a ghost pig, a pump pig, a witch pig, and a fairy pig and a spider pig, and they're having a great time together. And this was my Peachtober journey, all my illustration for Peachtober, and I hope you like them. And as I said, they are coming as fine art prints to my first shop update in the end of November. So stay tuned, I will announce it on Instagram. So, and yes, this is all about this sketchbook tour. It's my first sketchbook tour, and I really love to talk about the illustration. And I hope as well that you like this type of video, and if this is the case, don't forget to leave a thumb up and to subscribe and push the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos from me. And until the next video, stay creative and bye bye.